Hey everybody, we're back for Wednesday Wellness. I'm Dr. Annie.
Dr. Rachel.
We're Rise Wellness Chiropractic, if you can't tell by our matching.
We didn't even plan it today.
No, I walked in after Rachel and she said, I wore the same thing. So it's a good day. Good Wednesday so far. We
Our talking Annie is a published author. Is that what you would call it?
Yeah, a published researcher, I guess, yeah.
She's published.
I got a case study published and it went out last week. So I think like right before we did Wednesday Wellness last week, but we were doing something else.
We were
talking with Carrie Stevens last week. So this week we'll talk a little bit
about how you're a published researcher. Author.
I just need to get some of this dirt off my shoulders. This was a study. It was like a case study of a patient that I had when I was still in school. Mm-hmm. It was a 4-month-old child with positional plagiocephaly. So what that means is first of all, like baby didn't like tummy time. That was like the major issue that mom brought her into the office for. She hated tummy time. Didn't like to lift up her head. So like
she also have acid reflux.
Yeah. Yeah, these things all correlate. But so she had an upper thoracic subluxation, so T1. She was like couldn't lift her head up, so any extension was super uncomfortable. Even like laying on her back was really uncomfortable. So what mom did was, she brought her to a chiropractor, but also like they just avoided tummy time. And so anytime this baby was out and about, she was in a car seat or in a stroller. So she was just always on her back, always in the same
at
position.
Home was probably
in a car seat,
in a bouncer, in a car seat, on her back, on the ground.
Mm-hmm. Slept on her back. So that's kind of what like my whole case study, like a lot of like the framework behind like why this all happened, like what were the things, the steps like leading up to this. Was like she was subluxated and didn't want to lift up her head, but because of that, mom adapted, and so she kept baby on her back all the time.
Yeah, it's hard to have a crying baby. Like I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. Like that was hard. I had twins, and honestly, they were put on their back a lot also.
Same thing. This is hard to hold both babies.
Yeah.
Similar story. I mean, so this baby had positional plagiocephaly, which is a flattening of the back of the head, basically, or a part of the head. We see it a lot in kids with torticollis, like if their head's stuck to one side, then they'll get like flattening on the back of their head from laying on it so much. But so like the medical treatment of this is to usually do a helmet. If it's really severe, they'll do surgery, but that's not usually positional plagiocephaly. That's usually like a craniosynostosis, which is like where the cranial bones fuse. But so positional plagiocephaly, you'll see kids around like with helmets on and stuff, and that's usually the treatment.
Yeah, and it's usually like it's been going on quite a while. They'll like watch and wait for a while.
Right.
I feel like if you go to your pediatrician, they're like, well, let's see if it gets fixed on its own. I would say also not only when you see someone who doesn't like want to lift their head up, this is usually a baby that like prefers nursing on one side or another.
Prefers one side. Yep, is tighter on one side. But so like the helmet doesn't really correct the issue. It might correct the flat spot on the head, but it doesn't correct that subluxation that really like led them down this path. So then we start to see other biomechanical stuff. So anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. That's what my paper was about this case study about this child. I looked at other chiropractic studies that had been done about plagiocephaly and
was the kiddo able to do tummy?
Yes. So we adjusted. We did cranial work on her, and she was able to avoid a helmet and able to do tummy time, and is now like 5-year-old.
Yeah. Oh, she's gonna get emotional.
Yeah, but so she's like just a thriving kiddo now, which is awesome. So
So we were talking this week about. Do you mind if I interrupt?
Go for it.
I was like, I've had 2 new kiddos in this week. One with asymmetrical crawling. It's older. This kiddo's I think 14 months, maybe a little younger. So it's been crawling like that since 6 months. You talk to the mom, like I didn't see the mom, like the baby early on, like what sort of issues, long labor, difficult labor, lots of pushing, almost they wanted to use a vacuum or forceps, but they did an episiotomy instead. So avoid that, but then baby still had a lot, then you ask how was baby, very colicky, baby had acid reflux really bad, baby was failure to thrive, didn't nurse well, didn't know it. So all these issues we just talked about, I don't think they left my head, but obviously it's like some subluxation issues, and now we see baby when there's a biomechanical issue, right? And we've talked about the scans we've done that we do to tell us like, hey, where things are going on, like where is the nervous system affected, and like from a mom standpoint, they're going to be like, I want to see it in their low back and their hips, right? so angry up in the cervical spine all the way to through mid-thoracic. Which I was like, yeah, this issue's been going on a long time. This never got corrected, and now we have a mechanical issue.
This is probably from the birth.
Yeah, this is like now like baby doesn't cross crawl, which is really important. Which is like opposite leg, opposite hand. Like,
yep. So think of like
really important for
ladder,
development, brain development.
Yep.
And with asymmetrical crawling, we're using the same side, so I'm like, brain body can't communicate right now.
Right.
Like,
that's two hemispheres of the brain that are communicating with each other too.
Yeah.
That's what we see when we see asymmetrical crawling.
Yeah, so we have a lot of correction to do actually in other areas of the spine that then can get, because baby can crawl. He can crawl.
He can get around.
Yeah, he can get around fast. He's just not doing it how he should be doing it developmentally.
Yes.
Which will then also now create issues later on, which the mother understands, which is why baby like he is here now.
Mm-hmm.
But our goal is always like, let's get kiddos in early before this issue becomes.
Yes.
Because we hear all the time, I didn't know I should be taking my kid to a chiropractor.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know why. We like
we're
telling all the time.
I wish I would have seen you through my pregnancy.
I wish I would have seen you through my pregnancy. Yeah. So that's one kiddo. The other kiddo we have right now this week is arching of the back, not sleeping, really bad acid reflux, constipation, also all irritation in the same place. Oh, and the flathead. Yeah. So this kiddo's like 6 months, right? So it's like, okay, maybe we could have prevented like 6 months of like sleepless nights for mom, trying all these other things. If baby could have gotten a little earlier, it just takes longer to correct these issues. Even though it's only a 6-month-old, it's still like, okay, well now we already have a flathead we have to work with.
Right. Exactly.
Try to correct.
And again, like parents adapt. You know, like they're gonna do whatever they can to like keep their child happy
and keep their sanity.
Yeah.
And we're not like faulting these parents because they don't know. They honestly don't know, and it's.
But that's why we do these videos too.
Yeah. So
if
hopefully we
you
can
know
get people
somebody, if you
in
have a friend that
sooner.
whose kid, like, don't be afraid to tell them that there's something else.
And also a big point I want to get across is moms expect to have baby be adjusted once and then be good forever.
Wish it worked that way.
Wish it worked
Do you
that
guys
way.
have any idea how popular we would be? I mean, we can maybe do that with pooping, but that's about it.
Well, yeah, and then like, we'll probably poop they'll poop that day, they'll poop the next day, and then like, but the nervous, like their nervous system is stuck in that pattern.
Yeah.
They're stuck in that pattern since birth or even in utero.
Yeah.
And we have to like try to change that pattern by each adjustment, like
and that's
rewire it. Say like this is the way.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
And so when you show up at 6 months or you show up at 14 months, it just takes that much longer.
Yeah.
So, like, yes, we want a miracle for baby also not to cry anymore, not spit up anymore, poop and sleep 10 hours a night after one adjustment. But that's not the case. I mean, we can tell you that's not the case because we can look at the scans and tell you there's a lot of irritation going on.
Yeah, there's a lot going on with the nervous system usually, and so.
Yeah. That's why we make care plans.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. If people are like, I tried a chiropractor, but it didn't work. Well, did you actually try the chiropractor?
It's about repetition too.
Yes.
I got that comment earlier. Like, it's nice that our appointment times are like short, and it's like, yes, because what we're doing in one sitting is important, but the repetition, like over time, is where the real changes.
I always correlate it to like going to the gym, like training muscles. We don't sit and do some.
I wish I was ripped after one time.
Sit ups and get a 6-pack. I mean, I'll never have a 6-pack, but also like you don't get stronger by going to the gym once. It's like you build muscle by continuing to go and doing those workouts.
Or like eating one salad.
Yeah, or eating one salad.
Yeah.
It
takes time and repetition.
Time and repetition.
Yep. That's the lesson for today.
Yeah, trust us, our goal is to get you down to as like minimum you have to be here also. But we do it. It's based on science.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I don't think so. If you guys want to see that study, I'll post it.
Oh yeah, just put it in the comments.
Yeah.
Dr. Annie, published author.
It was funny, like when that study came out, I was like, I want to write up so many more cases. Like since we've been in practice, like, that
there's so
was
many
so
more you can do,
exciting
yeah.
when I was like in school, and I was like, I see this every day.
Yeah.
It's like, it's less exciting, and you kind of forget that when it's like things that you see all the time, that you are like, I want this. Like nobody really sees this or like knows that. Like, I mean, a lot of the stuff with SPD we should probably write up because those moms like don't know how to help with that.
Yeah, and I just did a talk Monday to a group of pregnant women, and they're all, I can't even tell you how many I had so many new pregnant patients this week already. And they're all like, I didn't know my first pregnancy I'd be going to a prenatal chiropractor. I went to this guy, he just hurt me. I didn't know I should be doing this. And then in the talk, I didn't know. Oh, I didn't even know you should be, I talked about baby adjustments.
Yeah.
Wow, that makes so much sense. I didn't know I should be getting my baby adjusted. And it's just like, we are trying to get it. This is us trying to get the word out.
That's why we do these videos.
Soon we'll have a billboard.
Yeah. Share, like them,
Yeah.
tell your friends.
Yeah. Do things.
We'll get a billboard.
Yeah. We'll get a billboard.
Get adjusted.
Yes. Okay, well, if you have any questions, obviously leave them below. Are we having another guest on next week?
Yeah, I think Kristen's going to join us next week.
Great.
So it'll probably be a pre-recorded Zoom, I think is what we're going to do with Kristen.
Okay.
And then we'll post it. So
Okay.
it won't be live.
Great. All right.
Maybe we'll wear the same shirts again.
Okay. Enjoy the nice weather this weekend.
Yeah.
All right. See y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.